the final of these tried and true guaranteed tips that you have to do. And remember, you have to do all 4 of them. You can't just pick 1 or 2 or even 3. You really need to do all 4. Hey, Mark McKilley with Live Anabolic, and today I want to talk to you guys about how to build muscle after 50, and I have 4 tips that are guaranteed to work, I promise. All right, guys, I'm 59. A lot of you guys watching are in your 50s, 60s, 70s. Some of you guys are in your upper 40s. It doesn't matter. You all know things just don't work as well as they used to. Back when we were in high school and college and 20s and 30s, man, those were the good old days. Well, they're gone. All right, so we got to be a little smarter now when it comes to building muscle. Our bodies just are more reluctant now to add muscle. So we just got to try all the little tips and tricks, all right, to make sure we're getting the most bang for our buck when we're working out. And I guarantee you guys, all these tips have been tried by millions of guys around the world, tons of studies, and so I promise they actually really do work. But I want you to do all 4 of them, okay? Don't just do 1 or 2, because I mean, like I said, we're in our 50s, 60s, 70s, and you know, we need every little bit of help possible to get those muscles to grow. So number 1, and this is one I think most of you guys are not doing, and that is progressive overload. You just have to push yourself harder, all right? You have to lift heavier weight. You have to push yourself closer to failure on every set. You have to increase the intensity. There's lots of different ways to look at this term progressive overload. It's not just about lifting more weight, okay? A lot of times it's just taking the same amount of weight and doing more reps than you were doing last week or last month, all right? So guys, you need to keep track of your workouts, all right? Most of you guys probably don't write this stuff down. You need to write down how much weight or how much band resistance you used with every single exercise. And then look at that from week to week and month to month. Make sure you are increasing. Now, I realize you're not going to be able to increase every single week. I realize that sometimes when you're working a relatively small muscle group, let's say you're doing 10 pounds on lateral dumbbell raises, okay? And you can only go up by 5. So you're going from 10 to 15, that's a 50% increase in weight. So it's only 5 pounds, but it's a big percentage. All right, so this is what you do. You're using 10-pound dumbbells for lateral raises, okay? And let's say you can do 10 of them before you just can't do any more. I want you to make sure in 2 weeks from now, when you're doing them, try to do 11 or 12. Write it down every single week. So what you're doing is you're not just adding more weight, you're doing more resistance or more time under tension because you're doing more reps, all right? Same thing goes with volume. You can add more sets to your workout or more circuits to the workout plan. But guys, you have to start overloading your muscles, all right? You have to push them harder and harder week after week, month after month, because your body's smart. It adjusts. Your muscle fibers get bigger and stronger and grow according to how hard you're pushing them. So if you're not pushing those muscle fibers hard, then they're saying, screw it, I don't need to get any bigger. I can get along fine at the size I am at right now. Why grow? So you have to give your muscles a reason to grow. And the best way to do that is progressive overload. And progressive overload is not just about adding more weight. A lot of times it's about doing more reps, more sets, more circuits, more time under tension. Okay guys, tip number 2, and you're gonna hear me sign off with this tip also, and that is consistency. All right, but I get it. It's hard to be consistent. So you can't be real gung-ho, kill it for a week or 2, and then, you know, take off because you had a trip with the family or because things got a little busy at work, and then come back and hit it hard again for another week and then take a couple of weeks off for vacation. You got to be consistent. You could do it that way when you were in your 20s, so you could go gung-ho hard and take a little time off and then come back and go after it 110%, but you're not going to see the results now that we've gotten older. So it's better to stay the course, be consistent. Now, sometimes being consistent isn't just going to the gym every day. or just doing your workouts at home every day. It's putting that intensity in, all right, partially related to tip number 1. So this is what I have to do, all right? I've been doing this for years and years and years now because, you know, I go to the gym to work out, and I get to the gym and I'm just like, man, I don't want to start, okay? I'm just lethargic. I don't want to get after it. So this is what I do. I take a supplement. I've been taking a pre-workout for years. Well, just recently, thank God, finally, my company came out with a pre-workout. So now I can take our own supplements, and it's called Anabolic ATP. Guys, if y'all have never tried a pre-workout, trust me, give it a shot. This stuff rocks. There are a ton of ingredients in this thing. Also, go to our website. So click the link below. You know, check it out on our website. It lists all the ingredients and why they're in there, what they do, and everything. But guys, try it. Take it right before your workout. I mean, I drink this on my way to the gym. All right, and when I get there, boom, I'm alert. I'm focused. It helps with the pumps. It helps with the amount of energy. All right, now there is caffeine in this, so keep that in mind. I don't take that if I have to go do a workout later in the evening because I missed it. Let's say I'm going at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. If I take it, it'll bug me. It won't. I mean, I won't be able to get good sleep. All right, so I'll feel great during the workout, but then I pay for it later. For some reason, I'll wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. So guys, all of you guys react differently to caffeine, and you know how that works with you. So just experiment with it, but definitely give this supplement a try. It rocks. Oh, and the other thing, one of the ingredients in it will make your hair itch. And I know it sounds weird if you've never taken this before. Trust me, it's a cool feeling. So your hair will feel itchy like you've been wearing a hat all day. Well, that's just the ingredient really kicking in, and it will really supercharge your workouts. All right, tip number 3, and that is protein. Guys, remember, your body breaks protein down into amino acids, and it uses those amino acids to repair the muscle fibers that we damage during the workout, right? And your body's pretty smart. So it repairs those muscle fibers, those damaged fibers, and they come back just a tiny bit bigger and a tiny bit stronger than before. But if we're not constantly feeding our body day in and day out with enough protein, then literally the muscle fibers won't grow back as efficiently as they could. So why kill yourself in the workouts if you're not getting enough protein? You'll only get, a partial benefit. So that's a biggie, and this is easy, guys. So this is the tip or the formula I would say as far as how much protein you need to eat. And that is roughly 0.7 grams of protein for each pound of body weight. So I know I'm mixing and matching there, right? So guys, if you weigh 200 pounds, multiply that by 0.7, and that comes out with 140 grams of protein. So yes, you're going to have to figure out once or twice, just count what you're eating, all right, on an average day. So you need to figure out how big of a hamburger patty that was, how big of a steak, how big was that piece of fish, how many eggs, all throughout the day, how much cheese. You need to count and figure out, absolutely positively know how many grams of protein you are getting in your diet on a typical day. Now, it's fine if you're a little under that for a day or two, and it doesn't hurt at all if you're over that, all right? A while back, everybody used to say you needed a full gram of protein for each pound of body weight. So if you weighed 200 pounds, you needed 200 grams of protein. Well, that's a ton. And it turns out I've read lots of studies, and they say, nah, you really just don't need that. That's excess protein. Your body can't use that much of it. So anyway, simple formula. The hard part is just knowing how much you're getting on a regular basis. And the only way to know how much you're ingesting on an average daily basis is counting and tracking your food intake. Now, you don't need to do it every day. You'll figure out, look, hey, this is a typical day, this is a typical week, and this is what I've been getting in. Yes, that's enough. No, it's not enough. Adjust, and then you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to count every day. I don't count every single day what I'm eating. About once or twice a year, I will track every single thing that goes in my mouth for a day or two. Then I'll sit down and I'll break it up into protein, carbs, and fats, and I'll know exactly how many proteins I'm getting on a typical day throughout the week. You have to do that, guys. All right, the last tip, number 4, the final of these tried and true guaranteed tips that you have to do. Remember, you have to do all 4 of them. You can't just pick 1 or 2 or even 3. You really need to do all 4. And that is sleep. Simple as that, guys. You have to get enough sleep. I mean, you don't realize how many good things happen when you're asleep, right? It's not, you got all the hormones that your body produces, and it produces most of those hormones, especially testosterone, while you're sleeping. Well, guess what else it does? It repairs your muscles when you're sleeping. You get tons of that accomplished at night when you're horizontal. You're resting, you're sleeping. So guys, if you're only getting 4 or 5 hours a night, I guarantee you that's not enough. Now, I know everybody's different, all right? And you may need to experiment, but a lot of y'all are just not getting enough. Force yourself just to go to bed earlier. I know a lot of y'all have to get up early for work, all right? But if you're a night owl and you're screwing around on the computer, dicking around watching TV, I don't care what it is, force yourself to turn that shit off. Get to bed earlier. Try to get at least 7 hours sleep minimum. My body, I know I need about 8 hours a night. Now, I can get by with 6 or 7 for a few nights in a row, but after about 3 or 4 days of that, I'll start feeling really worn down. I'll start dragging. But even if you're feeling okay because you're drinking coffee throughout the day and you're tricking your body into being awake and alert, still, you're not going to get as much bang out of your buck. Your muscles are not going to grow as much if you're not getting plenty of sleep. And that's not just 1 or 2 or 3 nights a week. You got to do it really consistently, week in, week out, month after month, which means you got to stick with it and never give up on yourself.